Happy hump day, happy hump day. Hump, 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 hump. Happy hump day, happy hump day. Let's get on Nene Leaks. Lego. Well. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee. This is JayLeesCorner, and this is another edition of Car Conversation on JayLeesCorner. Okay. I hope y'all are having a good hump day. Okay, happy Wednesday of it all. Okay. So today's conversation around here in the car on the way to work is about Nene of the Lenithia Leaks. Okay, but y'all know first thing first, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Okay, to become a whole Jaybird, and. Okay, do not forget to also like the video, comment in the comment section, share it on your social media, follow me on IG and Twitter at JayLeesCorner. And why y'all people can't you look. Let me say this. Okay, you could not be the first person in the line, in the turning lane, and not be watching the thing turn green. Okay? You can't be doing that. Because you stop everybody else from going when you ain't paying attention. Anyway, like I said, like, follow, comment, share, blah, 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 blah. All that information is also in the description box below. Nene of the Lenithia Leaks. Okay? She's been on Twitter, okay? Now, I was live last night. Now, we discussed the whole thing between her and Kenzie, but I wanted to do a whole different car conversation about her, still claiming to be blackballed and blacklisted and, discriminated against. And all these things she keeps saying and been saying for a minute now. In fact, my camera is off. So sorry about all the movement of the arounds. This is the thing, okay? What Nene put on Twitter, I'm going to read it real fast, ain't no traffic around me because I can see it right now. Stop harassing me, my business, and my family, okay? Stop having me followed, okay? Stop blacklisting black women who speak truth. Stop paying off attorneys to not file discrimination lawsuits. Just stop it, okay? Just stop it is what she posted. And she's also been reposting a lot of other folks, of course her fans, who are supporting her and saying she is blacklisted. Nene's the greatest housewife ever. Give her a show. Nene deserves a show. Nene deserves miss me with the bullshit. This is my thing. Is Nene and was Nene great at one time on the Housewives of Atlanta show? Was she absolutely amazing? Absolutely. I don't think anyone is negating the fact that Nene Leaks is and was great on Housewives when she was great. Eventually, Nene got the little I'm popular buzz. I'm famous now. Y'all can kiss my ass. And she changed a bit. Wow, I feel like my camera is shaking so much, y'all. I don't want y'all getting dizzy watching me. So, Nene got into Hollywood, was on a couple shows, was basically saying, forget the Housewives or whatever, I don't need y'all. And when that dried up, she came back on Housewives. Also, let's not forget, Nene is saying how all these things was going on behind closed doors, but Nene was one of the highest paid, highest popular, like she was getting everything over there. And sometimes was doing the least because she felt like she was the best. So she had to do too much. She was also being a complete bitch to everyone. So I think for some folks who still admit she was a great housewife on the show, at the same time, once you're no longer the top dog over there, and all of a sudden they were horrible to you this whole time, but you had no issue accepting all the money they were paying you. You had no issue, you know what I'm saying, going at whoever else. You had no issue being up on Andy Cohen's show all the time. So it's hard for me to feel bad for Nene, because I really do feel like she put herself in this situation. And in my opinion, Nene putting herself in the situation of being blacklisted, Nene putting herself in the situation where no one wants to fuck with her on TV, really, okay, except College Hill, it's on Nene. Because her antics is what got her blacklisted. I really feel like Nene had years to get her own show. Nene had years to do whatever she wanted to do, because she was Nene Leakes. She was an HBIC. She was. She did make Housewives of Atlanta. Okay, she was very entertaining. But none of that matters when you have all of that and you squander it. No one took anything from Nene. Nene took it for granted. Nene felt like I will always be loved and admired by the network. They will always love me, be with me. They will always do that for me. But Nene was also being a bitch behind closed doors. We know that because how much of a bitch she was in front of the camera. So you can only imagine how much, you know, how else she could have been behind closed doors. And no one, at least me, I'm not saying that the network did not cut her feet off. Wrong term, that's not nice. I'm not saying the network did not do anything to make her less, and I'm not saying they didn't start, you know what I'm saying, cutting her episodes down or paying her less. But you were a top dog for like 12 seasons. Maybe 11. I think she left in season 12. I think she left in season 12, and she had left one season before that. So you was around there for over 10 years. And if in over 10 years, you didn't make connections with other folk in the industry to be sure that once you were done with Housewives, you had footing to do other things, that's on you. You solely depended on Andy and Bravo to forever hold you in high graces, and you should know some people just don't do that. That ain't how it go. It isn't at all. And we're not going to act like Nene was not difficult at times. So it's like, was she really blacklisted or blackballed in a way to where she was completely done wrong in an entire situation? No. Nene was catered to, coddled, and gave special attention for at least 10 years on Bravo. And the fact that she has no other connections to show for that, in my opinion, is her fault. And she likes to point the finger and blame other folks, but it's like I keep saying, she was on Bravo and never complained for 10 years. Never. But she came out later on saying she'd always been having to deal with this, that, or the other. And I'm like, well, you never let anybody see it. You praised Bravo. You was always supportive of Bravo. You were dogging to other ladies about how much you was the HBIC. I feel like in the last maybe 2 years on Bravo, that's when shit went left. I feel like also most folks put up with her bullshit based on Greg. Because Greg was so nice. May he rest in peace. I feel like Nene, in the end, she had the big head. And once she wasn't getting what she was used to getting, because the network had already built themselves up to not really need her, that's when the network probably started to fuck her over. That's also when Nene should have realized, let me make my exit plan. Nene, to me, and even the Housewives in general, no one assumed all those years ago it'll be what it is today. So it's like, is her 15 minutes of fame just up? Is her fame done? No. But it's a reason why no one wants to work with her. And I think Carlos King posted on his podcast, he named the top 10 housewives. And of course he had Nene at number 1. I think no one feels like, it's two different things. No one feels like Nene wasn't great and she's not Nene Leakes. Like, we all know that. But it's like, if no one wants to work with you after years of you being on this top show, what did you also do? And I know folks like to compare, her and Monique, about how Monique spoke out, about Lee Daniels and Oprah and all them. Monique did one movie and had one bad situation with one group of folks over one situation. Which that, that's one thing. Nene was on a network for years and never complained about anything. And when other housewives came and went, she would just reign supreme in her seat. She wouldn't care. When other housewives would leave, she's like, but I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if the network was that bad behind the scenes and they was doing all these things to you, why would you not help the other folks who had come and gone before you? Because you didn't care how they were being treated, because you were not being treated that way. Also, why do you think somebody's following you? They following you? But where you going? To the Nene Lounge? Now, do I believe her saying that, they're paying lawyers to not file lawsuits for discrimination? Now, that's probably true. Okay? Some people, but this is the thing. Some lawyers don't want to get involved in that as well. So, that's the lawyers. If you can't, this is the weird thing. You are Nene Leakes. You can't, not even Ben Crump. Ben Crump get all kind of lawsuits. You know what I'm saying? He take all the cases. Ben Crump won't represent you for discrimination against Bravo. NBC, Bravo is owned by NBC. NBC is a strong network. Okay, they are very powerful. But I also feel like, if you have valid evidence on whatever you're saying, but no lawyer will touch it, I don't believe that. I believe a few lawyers won't touch it. But you can't tell me not now lawyer won't touch the case. I think Nene did herself a disservice in how much she was being publicly open with her disdain for how she was treated at Bravo and Housewives of Atlanta, like her last 2 seasons. And, she's been gone for 2 years. And, they love to bring up how the other housewives should stop bringing up Nene, but Nene is still bringing up housewives. Nene still consistently talks about that. When Nene gets on the show, that's what she speaks on, what happened with her on Housewives. And I feel like the reason she can't move on is because she never planned to. And that's a problem of Nene's. You should never plan to only be, booked and operated from a point of Bravo or the NBC universe. You have to step foot out that door and get other things. And it's a reason why other housewives, not some, not all, some, I'm going to use for instance Candy. I'm going to use for instance Cynthia. Cynthia, once she left Housewives, she's been doing movies, she's been hosting shows, she was on, other things. Candy, who's also been on other shows, booking other gigs, not only being beholden upon Bravo. Okay, even Portia, she had a show on Bravo. Portia also was on This Nation, so Portia also had other things going on outside of Bravo. And I'm talking about people who's been on the network for a long time. I even say Kenya. Kenya with her whole, here in Carolina or whatever. She's done guest spots on TV shows or whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? Nene ain't do none of that. Recently, when Nene was doing that stuff and she was on the, it was the Ryan Murphy shows that she was on years ago? And when she went and did that, Nene was trying to leave Atlanta and be in Hollywood, get her show out there, and it never panned out. It never panned out. And she had to come back to Atlanta and get back on Housewives. And I think she had resentment that what she thought would happen didn't happen. And I think with that resentment came spiteful, mean behavior. Because when Nene came back, she wasn't the same Nene. She wasn't. I think she felt like she had to prove herself to be the HBIC more, because at that point Kenya was there and she was always fussing with folks. And it was a different Nene, and not just her face, just her personality as well. But Nene has to own that it's not her fault that she's in this situation. Nene doesn't take any ownership. Nene plays victim, but Nene has done things to put herself in this predicament. You burned all the bridges when you literally called the whole network racist and all these things after working with them with no complaints for 10 years. You then came out as if it was always just bad. and you just took the brunt of it. But I still feel like that will be true had you not went to other people who were either left the show, was fired from the show, or whatever. Nene reigned supreme as long as she felt like she was the supreme. And when she was no longer the supreme, I want to burn it down. And I think she thought more people would support her from the show, or other housewives would back her up from the show, and no one really did, because no one's experience was like hers. And I don't think it's fair to say, well, because they've been paid by Bravo, the show was paying them. Do you think you're so important to this network that has had other folks leave who were also unhappy? They are keeping their foot on your neck, no pun intended, to keep you down? It's like, no, you should have moved on once they fucked you over, once you spoke your piece. Okay, let me rebuild my own brand. Let me go elsewhere. I think she should have never spoken out against the network until she had another deal in place. But she don't think 2 steps ahead, because she's irrational sometimes. So her stands and fans who like to make it seem as if y'all be hating on Nene, y'all don't like Nene. It's like, no, we love Nene, but Nene needs to love herself. And sometimes loving yourself is about taking responsibility for what you did to get yourself in that predicament. So I don't fully believe that Nene is blackballed or blacklisted. I think Nene did something that people don't want to deal with, because if you're unhappy with Bravo and did that to them, what would you do when you're unhappy with us? We don't have time to face no lawsuits based on you saying we didn't give you what you needed because of this, that, or the other. There are many other working actresses and reality stars on other networks, on other shows, who do deal with issues on a daily basis, and they usually speak about that. You know what happens? Nene didn't say shit until she left the show, and then made it seem as if everything we knew about her and the show and with Andy was, not really true. But this is the kicker why I also say it's bullshit. This is my last point. If they are so bad, why are you willing to go back and work if they give you a job? Because you want the attention. But I'm leaving that there, okay? So y'all put in the comment section, do y'all feel like that Nene was really blackballed, or that it's her own fault that she did play a part in the demise of her career? Okay? Other than that, I will talk to y'all later. Gotta go. Peace.